Hi everybody, it's Rose Griffin from ABA Speech. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. If you're new here, I'm a speech language pathologist and a board certified behavior analyst, and I'm really excited to share with you what this video is about. We're going to be talking about some of my favorite resources for students in pre-K to elementary age. So with everybody kind of talking about back to school, whether you're dreading it or you're excited, I wanted to share some of those things that I personally use with my own students on my caseload. So some of the things that I really like are Pete the Cat. I love Pete the Cat. This is an awesome book. And you can use Pete the Cat for so many different things. If you're not familiar with Pete the Cat, there's a lot of good opportunities for labeling colors. Pete steps in all these different types of things. So he gets himself in trouble and he steps in all these different strawberries and blueberries and all these different opportunities for you to label colors. And then as students get to know the book, they oftentimes will fill in the blank as well. So that's a really cool skill for them to work on. If you YouTube Pete the Cat, the author has a really great YouTube story where he is doing a story tell with music and he's singing. And so once my students really get to know the book, I will have that video on and then I will read them, have the pages, and I will flip through the pages as he is doing the YouTube video. And they love that. And there's a whole series for Pete the Cat. So I love all the books, but the Pete the Cat, I love My White Shoes is my favorite. And it's really catchy. So that's a fun one. And all these things I'm going to talk about are available on Amazon. If they're on a different website, I will let you know that as well. Okay, so Pete the Cat, that's definitely a favorite. Another book that I really love for that age group is Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom is another really great book, and it lends itself to filling in the blanks. If you have students who are able to expressively identify some of the different letters, you can work on that. And as the story goes through, it goes through different letters of the alphabet so that your learners could fill in the blanks. So you kind of read along and you could point, and if they're able to, if you show them a C, if you write it and they can label it, if you show them this, it would be a way for them to generalize their ability to label in a different environment. And if you're reading it with a group, then it would also be working on cooperative learning skills as well. So Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, that one's on Amazon as well. Another tool that I really love for early learners, to younger students, is the VB Map. The VB Map stands for Verbal Behavior Milestones Assessment and Placement Program. And the VB Map, if you're not familiar with it, was done by Dr. Mark Sundberg, who is a PhD and a BCBA, and it's an amazing assessment that looks at students' language levels from 0 to 48 months. And so if you have students who you are working with and they're not able to get a standardized score on a test that you're giving, hi Megan, then you will really want to learn more about the VB Map. The VB Map looks at things like, can the student request, can the student work cooperatively with others, and all those different types of early learner skills that you may not get if you're a speech therapist on a traditional test. So if you're new to the VB Map, you could go to my website. I have a free webinar about it at www.abaspeech.org, and you can learn all about it. But I use it often, and it helps me get a real good scope and sequence of how I want to work with early learners and make their language skills functional, okay? And this is available, it might be on Amazon, but it's available at www.avbpress.com. And I'll put up some of these after I tape the, after I'm done being live. So this is a really great assessment if you should learn more about it if you haven't. Another thing that I really love to work on with early learners is our action cards. So I created products called the Action Builder cards. They are available at different roads to learning. And these action cards look at different functional actions paired with functional nouns. Because oftentimes what we see in the materials that are available right now is that we might have one picture of eating and one picture of washing and one picture of building and whatever the action is. And then we're expecting our students to learn to label that one picture and then generalize it to the natural environment. And for students with autism and other complex communication disorders, that's really difficult for them. So I created this product that has different actions and nouns. So we have girl washing hands, we have boy washing hair, we have girl washing hair, we have boy washing dish, we have girl washing dish, we have boy washing hands. And the idea is to teach the learner to be able to identify all these different examples of washing so that we're building a bridge from what we're doing in therapy or what we're doing in the classroom to the naturalistic environment. So we're not just praying that the student is going to be able to make the jump from what we're doing at school to what happens at home and label things. We want to plan for that generalization. So these are available at different roads to learning. And then something else I wanted to share that I really love working on with early learners is the game called Zynga. If you guys have heard of this game, this is available on Amazon as well. And what you do is you get these little yellow pieces out of that little red container, and then you try to match them to your game board. So everybody has a different game board, and then you try to match them. So if I don't have them on mine, I can see if my friend that is playing wants to take this piece and use it on theirs. So there's that social reciprocity of giving the piece to somebody else and the other student accepting it. For some of our students, that can be something they're working on as well. And then if you have a student who's working on matching, once they get their piece, they might have to look and see if they can match it, which for some students, this is kind of a larger array. Sometimes we work in a smaller array of cards when we're matching. So it would be a way to generalize that matching skill to something that's more cooperative, even if you're just playing with them. So Zynga, I love that one too. The other things that I wanted to share for that age group are just some of the modified leisure things that I play with some of the students that I have. So one modified leisure game that I love is Simon Says. And the way that I modify that for my students is just that it's always Simon Says. I just played it this week and the kids really loved it, scene 2. So, you know, Simon says touch your nose, Simon says windmill arm, Simon says shout hooray. And then the way that we modify it so it's errorless and nobody feels like they're not doing it right is that it's always Simon Says. And if you have mixed groups, if you're a speech therapist and you're working with mixed groups or a teacher, one of the things I did this week is some of my students who are more conversational, I let them do the next direction. So I let them be Simon, and they love that. They got a kick out of that. And then the other game that I wanted to talk about for early elementary or preschool students is modified musical chairs. So for musical chairs, what I do is set up the chairs, and then I teach the students when the music's on, we walk around, and I put on whatever their favorite music is, and then when the music's turned off, they have to sit down. So the only things that they have to learn are, I walk around when the music's on, and when the music goes off, I sit down. And for some students, being in that cooperative activity and playing with students and following the rules and not having any behavioral moments that would be a barrier to them learning is taxing enough. So to take a chair away would be kind of mean, okay, for some students. So that's a way that I modify that for some of the students that I'm working with. So all the things that I showed you today are available on Amazon. The VB map is available on avbpress.com, and then my cards are available at different roads to learning. So I just wanted to pop on. Everybody's been talking about back to school, and if you're dreading it or you're looking forward to it, getting your classroom ready, I wanted to let you know some things that really make my life more simple as the school year goes on. So if you want more information about me and what I've been doing, feel free to share this video or visit me at www.abaspeech.org and sign up for my newsletter. I send it out about once a month, and I'll let you know what webinars I have going and freebies and all that good stuff. So Tuesdays at 9, once the school year gets going, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live every single Tuesday. So thanks so much for tuning in, and hope you guys have a great one. See ya!